What's up, guys? We're Lovely the Band, and we're hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
Congratulations, debut EP is out now.
Yes.
Tell me about that creative process. Tell me about going into the studio. Tell me about writing these 6 tracks that you did for the EP.
So yeah, this is, Lovely the Band has been a project I've been stirring around in my brain for the better part of like a year and a half or two, and it's just kind of, this EP is what it's called. It's everything I could never say. It's a lot of lyrics that and a lot of things I've been kind of holding on to for a long time that I felt was time to kind of get out. And it's a lot of, it's the most personal songs that, I've written. And, and then I started writing these things and started coming together. And then it kind of got to a place where I was like, oh, let's, this is like a real thing. I need to find guys to help me bring it to life. And, that's when I linked with Jordan and Sam, and, it just kind of culminated into this thing. And then when we got in the studio, we finished this record and came to life. And then now it's out in the world, and it's a beautiful thing.
now going into the studio for this, especially because you mentioned this is the most personal you've been, what was that like for you? Because, you're getting vulnerable on these tracks. So what was that like actually recording them, let alone like showing them to the fans?
Like, is cathartic the right word? Yeah, like it was like, it was good. It was a lot of stuff that like, I didn't really have to hold back on this project. Like past projects and stuff, I've kind of like had to censor what I say, or like watch, or kind of just appease to a certain audience, or like not appease to a certain audience, but placate to the vibe we were in, or whatever. And this, I just kind of got to say whatever I needed to, and it was freeing. It was like it was nice to just put it all out there and get things out in the world and say things and be pissed and be sad and depressed and talk about those things, and because it's stuff I deal with on a daily basis, and it's just being able to put that stuff in songs is it's good. And because I feel like a lot of people deal with that, and hopefully people connect the way I do. With Broken, which was the lead single for the EP, like just that track alone, I feel like resonated with so many fans, whether it was the same situation or something similar, which is something that like, I always say, like, I love how music as a listener, it takes me somewhere. But then when you actually sit down with the artist to talk about the creation of said song, like it takes you somewhere else because it's a different experience. But for you, like, what was it like going into the studio with them, like for the first time, and like creating all this stuff?
I kind of had a different role. I came in and like played on some of the stuff before I was even actually a member. And then they asked me if I wanted to be in it, and then I was like, definitely. Like, this is... Mitch told me everything that we had planned and stuff that was in the works already, and it was like, how can I not do this? So, my studio experience with this stuff was a little different from Mitch.
Right.
But, the finished product is like, this is stuff I can get behind fully. You know what I mean?
Right. Now, tell me about the 6 tracks. Like, briefly tell me, like, why these 6 tracks had to be the first listen of Lovely the Band?
It kind of paints a picture, like, from start to finish, like, of kind of what the band is. Like, we have, starting off with Broken as the lead single. It's a song that is, personal to me, and I think that, like, like as we've seen, like the fans are connecting to and people are connecting to. It's a song just about, connecting with someone or hoping to find someone in life that, whose issues line up with yours, because no one's perfect, even, the happiest person in the world has bad days. And, it's just about finding someone to kind of, navigate through, the rough waters of life and, stand by your side and, pick you up when you're down. And so that was that one, and I felt like that was like a a good mission statement for the band. That's why I felt like it was a good lead single, and getting that one out. And then the next track we have is Emotion. Emotion. And that one is about a relationship that kind of turned bad, and just kind of trials and tribulations of that. And the following track is Coachella, which is about one of the best weekends I ever had down at Coachella. I actually wrote it on the way home from Coachella this year.
Nice.
And just sitting in the back of the car, just like reflecting on the weekend and, the wonderful time that I had there and like, spending it with someone I really care about. And, and I think that's awesome about music, like especially like being able to create like just literally just like sitting in the back of the car reflecting on a weekend and then just putting words down and then seeing this kind of thing come to life because we were sitting, Jordan and I were in the studio when we were making that and with a producer, and it was kind of, we had this like bed of music and it just was one of those things where we were like playing around with it and we were trying to figure out like where to go with the song and like whatever, and then I like was looking through my phone and stuff for what I had, any ideas, stuff that like I had written down or whatever, and then all of a sudden I stumbled back upon these lyrics, this like fully flushed out lyric thing that I just like was kind of like stream of consciousness that I was just writing, and just started singing along with this bed of music that we had, and it ended up just literally turning into the song. The song kind of fell out, and like that was the quickest one for sure. That one fell out in like 30 minutes. Yeah, it was just pretty done. Yeah. And then after that we have Make You Feel Pretty. Make You Feel Pretty. Make You Feel Pretty. That song is that song's kind of like about every girl I've a lot of girls that I've had the pleasure of dating. Not dating. I wouldn't say dating, but hanging out with certain females in the Los Angeles County and in the beautiful life that we live in Hollywood, California here, and some certain types, certain pretentious, stuck up their nose types, and it's just a kind of a song. It's like, the lyric and the hook is, I'm spending all my money just to make you feel pretty. Right. And, it's just like, sometimes that's this town, man. It's like, it's like sometimes girls you meet, you think one thing, and then it's like the shiny, the more famous guy or like the rich guy comes in or the famous guy comes in, and it's like, and you're like, oh, see you later. Bye. And but honestly, like it's that song's just really about like the addiction of that, and like honestly the thrill and the fun that is being in a situation or like a relationship like that where it's like this girl is like detrimental to your life, but you can't get enough of it. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But with that song, I kind of like that you kind of stamped Hollywood on that with Doheny, Doheny and what was it? Sunset. Doheny, I was like, wow, this feels like home.
Yeah, man. I mean, that spot, like, I drop in the first line, standing on the corner of Sunset and Doheny, up the stairs and on the rocks. That's like my clubhouse. Yeah. It's like our favorite spot, and so it was just kind of it kind of had to be put in there. So.
Definitely like that feel. Now, you mentioned producer. Who did you guys work with as far as the producer goes?
We worked with this dude, Christian Metis. I've been working with him for the better part of like 8 years now. Okay. And we just, we work well together. And whenever I have something brewing, I give him a call. And he's really cool about, being patient with me and, let me flush things out and, sort things out. And, he's the best. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, you've actually, been in the industry for quite some time already. Yeah. With either other projects or even doing a solo thing. Mm-hmm. So how different is it now that you went to the solo project and then you came back to doing like a full band thing going into the studio?
So yeah, I was a solo artist, and then like, I had another project after that. And with this one, I'm proud of the stuff that I did in the past. Really proud of the work we did, the songs we put out, and like the stuff we got to accomplish. It was, a really good chapter of my life. But, with this and it's just it's different. It's not better. It's just different, and it's like it's a different movie. Right. And it's not to say it's better, but it's just different, and it's freeing, and it's just a little bit more of like I love how to be doing it with these guys, and it's a bit more of like camaraderie, and it's like, I don't know, just different, and it's good. Yeah. Like, I can't really put my finger on it, It's like, it's
as long as you're enjoying it.
Yeah,
and you hear it with the music.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
they might be like emotional songs, but like they're fun.
Personal. It's a lot more personal. That's the biggest difference, I think.
Right.
It's a lot more personal, and I think that people are connecting to that.
Now, aside from him with the lyrics, did you guys face any challenges when you guys were in the studio recording or creating the 6 tracks?
I think it was, I don't know if it was difficult, but there were, the different songs that were brought in. There were definitely a few that came out really easily, but then we had to really work some of the other tracks. Like there's a track on the EP called Don't Worry You Will. And that track really came alive in the studio. So there were a bunch of times when we really, we didn't know if it would make it. Right. But then in the 3-4 hours that we were kind of working it out, it really comes alive, which was really cool to see, especially on that track.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's awesome. So what's next for you guys now that the EP's out? I know you guys just recently had a show at the Bootleg Theater.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any upcoming shows? Any tour plans? Like what's going on? With you guys?
Working on tours right now. Confirming some stuff right now for the end of the year and better part of next year. So, okay. But nothing we can announce yet. But just keep checking in, and there will be dates soon. We're itching to get out on the road and tour the country and get out there and play these songs. And to finish what we were saying about the songs, he said, Don't Worry You Will. The closers of the track is Don't Worry You Will is one of my favorites on the record, and that song kind of just sums up love for me. Mm-hmm. I'm a pretty self-deprecating, like self-sabotaging person, and that song, there's I always say, like, for me, the worst part about falling in love is knowing that it's gonna end. Yeah. And that's that song, Don't Worry You Will. The lyric in the chorus is, she said, I can't find a thing that I don't like about you. And I'm like, don't worry, you will. And that's just kind of just how I look at things, because I'm like, I'll start dating a girl and I'm like, oh, this is amazing, she's wonderful. But then like my demons start creeping up, and I'm like, oh no, something's gonna get messed up. She's gonna find something. So I start to just self-sabotage and ruin it before, because it's like, well, if I end it and I'm out, then I can't get hurt. And yeah. And then the closer on the song, the closer of the EP, Strangers, is just one that that's kind of one of the more personal ones. It's just about the end of a relationship, and it's that feeling of being strangers again. And you date someone for a very long time, they're your whole world, they're your whole life, you talk to them every day, you hang out with them all the time, you date for years, and then all of a sudden you guys break up. And it's like this person that went from being literally your whole life, and now it's like you see them in a room and you avoid them.
That's true.
And it's like you're just literally strangers again.
Right.
And that's that one.
Dang, man, you really you really dug deep with this. And this is just the EP.
It's a heartbreak EP. It's all about love. I'm just realizing that right now.
But when you listen to it and not pay attention to the lyrics, it's like, man, this is fun.
Yeah. I think we disguise the sadness with the music, because it's fun. And we played in Philly recently, and after the set, I was I think I said to Mitch something about man, every time he prefaces the song and it's this one's about heartbreak and stuff, and then it's and it's oh, that's really there's no low point in our set. But
that's one thing that always interests me, how artists are able to have such a heartbreaking song, but it sounds so fun when you hear the actual song. Yeah. So I don't know how you guys do that.
I think because a lot of music was heartbreak songs, and it was a ballad, and it was clear that it was a heartbreak song. Right. And a lot of music now is disguising that and kind of more celebrating it. Right. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. But all I have to say is that now I can't wait for a full record. Mm-hmm. So
us too. Well, working on them. Nice. Always in the studio.
That's good. That's good. Well, thanks for hearing out with me, guys. For those that haven't heard Lovely the band at all, what could you tell them? What is this band all about?
No, go to Mitch.
What? What is this band all about? I mean, it's all about just finding peace with the person you are, and being okay with that, and knowing that the demons that you face, that you're not alone in that, and you know, that like as I've been writing these songs, you know, that's kind of just been like a revolving motif, and just, you know, just especially just letting my own things out and like coming to terms with the person I am and the shit I have to deal with on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And like, you know, the fight I have with my brain a lot of, you know, fighting it and being like, no, this is fine. Like, it's cool. Like, you know, and that's kind of like what we're about, you know, just making people realize that, hey, you're not alone. Like, we deal with this stuff too. And, you know, it's okay that, you know, sometimes you don't want to get out of bed, or that like it drives you crazy to, you know, walk into a room full of people, or, you know, crippling anxiety, or, you know, that you're sad or depressed or whatever. Like, these are okay things, and, you know, a lot of people deal with it, and that it's okay to talk about.
And since you kind of mentioned that, how do you deal with it?
How do I deal with it? Music. You know what I mean? Music. And I've got really good people in my life, thankfully. And, you know, I just one day at a time.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for letting me come out. You guys be sure to check out Lovely the Band. The debut EP is out now. It's called
Everything I Could Never Say.
And you can check them out online where?
Lovelytheband.com? Is it that easy? Nice.
I think so.
That easy.
I think so.
Lovelytheband.com. And
Check
everywhere else. Everywhere you can get music. Buy our record.
Buy the record. Check it out. If not, at least listen to Broken, because it's going to make you want to buy the record. Thanks for watching here on Front Row Live.